Underneath a muted gray sky, the city of New York came alive with its usual alchemy of noise and movement. Yet, for Clara Walsh, a seasoned private investigator, there was something unsettling about this day. The morning paper crinkled in her hands as she sipped her lukewarm coffee, the headlines screaming about the vanishing of young Etan Patz, a child who had disappeared in broad daylight. Her heart pounded with the familiar thrill of a new case mingled with the chill of impending dread. This, she knew, was not an ordinary disappearance. Clara delved deep into the labyrinthine world of Etan's life, tracing his steps through the city's crowded avenues. She interviewed distraught parents, apathetic witnesses, and scouring poorly lit corners of grimy alleyways. Everywhere, whispers of Etan's last known moments floated around her like ghosts. The city, usually indifferent, seemed to recoil in horror, its darkness now acutely palpable. Shadows warped into strange, monstrous forms in the periphery of Clara's vision. The investigation took a darker turn when Clara found Etan's backpack twisted and tossed near a sewer grate, whispering tales of misdirection and myth. As Clara knelt beside it under the waning daylight, an overwhelming unease settled in her chest. She sensed unseen eyes watching her from the depths. The backpack was a sliver of hope, yet a harbinger of deeper, unimaginable horrors nestled beneath the city's concrete flesh, secrets she vowed to uncover, despite the growing storm in her mind. As night fell, Clara returned to her office to piece together the fragments she had gathered. Splayed across her desk were crime scene photos and scribbled notes, all mocking her attempts to understand. Each photo was a window to a horror only partially seen, the child's spectral face haunting her. Sleep eluded her. Instead, the neon haze of the city's late-night lights danced across her walls, morphing into shapes that whispered terrible secrets. Her sense of unease stretched into panic, clutching her heart as the clock ticked ominously onward. Days melded into one another as Clara struggled against the mounting paranoia that clung to her thoughts like a toxic fog. Her dreams, once her refuge, became a battleground fraught with phantoms, deep alleyways that spiraled into nothingness, familiar faces contorted by grief and accusation. Each morning's revelation was a new piece of the cruel puzzle. Etan's story, now woven into that of the city, as past mysteries re-emerged like specters to haunt her resolve. Determined to break free from the paralysis of fear, Clara sought the wisdom of an eccentric archivist rumored to know the city's deepest secrets. Their meeting unfolded in a musty library, where the air was thick with dust and lore. The archivist, eyes glinting with the light of 1,000 haunted tales, unveiled forbidden maps and old clippings that hinted at an underworld of power and sacrifice, a ritualistic past that bound the city to its sins. Wrapped in these ancient narratives, Clara felt the looming presence of something malevolent. With new insight, Clara plunged deeper into the entrails of the city, following leads down into the hidden tunnels rumored to stretch beneath the streets like a network of forbidden veins. Accompanied by an unsettling quiet, she felt the city watching her, its silence a pulsing, heavy entity. Lights danced sporadically in the distance, never truly illuminating the paths, only serving to highlight more of the oppressive, shadowy atmosphere. Questions burned into her psyche. Was she passing through the city's lifeline, or was she merely feeding its dark hunger? The air grew colder, the dimly lit tunnels giving way to a cavernous chamber where whispers of lost souls echoed around her. An altar stood gleaming under a sharpened sliver of moonlight that filtered through a lone street-level grating. Here, Clara's world fragmented further as she recognized the unmistakable signs of grotesque rituals. Blood-stained stones, worn symbols that conjured sinister realms. As the chamber churned with echoes of 1,000 prayers drowned in darkness, Clara felt the pulse of malevolence seeping into her mind. Ere long, she staggered back into the city above, the once familiar skyline now twisted and unwelcoming. Though amongst its rhythmic clamor, Clara realized that this expedition had tainted her world. Each street hummed with their own song of anguish, a mournful requiem that resonated even amidst the blaring of car horns. She knew now that the monster she hunted lay not in physical shadows, but in the cavities of power and fear embedded within each brick of the city. It was alive, feeding off stories and bloodlines. When dawn broke, a resolve etched itself into Clara's heart. With fresh determination, she orchestrated a delicate plan to uncover the identities of those perpetuating the rituals cradled in secrecy. Each step posed a risk more formidable than the last. As she infiltrated circles of power, truths layered in deceit unraveled, revealing names woven into the fabric of business, governance, and unseen occult syndicates. The grim realization washed over her. It wasn't just Etan's fate at stake, but the very soul of the city.